Everybody, thanks for watching. Just a quick reminder that the flash drive sale is still available. Make sure you guys take advantage. Since we're still updating the site, we're going to keep that sale going for a little bit. It's still available. Make sure you guys take advantage. So for those of you who have helped us test the site so far, the site will be down eventually because we're going to finish updating. So wanting people to get on and help us test it out to see if we can find any issues so far. Make sure you guys clear your browser cache if you have any issues at all. But the site is good. It's completely new, as you can see, much better. It's going to be way more quizzes and everything on the site. Put out a video explaining that so far. It's a lot with the site. As you can see, it's going to be a lot more to it. It's going to be mini games, also the quizzes. It's also going to be a lot of like major tests, like big tests. Also the app, a lot of people ask about it. There will officially be an app for this site when it's ready. If you're going to help us test the site, make sure you test it on a desktop or a laptop. The phone, the mobile site is not, completely ready yet. I mean, it still works on mobile, but it's not, mobile friendly right now. But the app will be out for it, iPhone and Android. So all that functionality that doesn't work now, it will work then once the app is out. It's going to be a much better site for mobile users. And yeah, I'm excited about it. It's really coming along well. As you can see, it's just a lot to the site, as you can see so far. So thanks to everybody who's been helping test the site, who's been jumping on there. Remember, you can sign up for Merkabah Academy free. You can go on there. There's going to be a lot of stuff on that site that you're going to want to be involved in. And we'll get into all that once the site is completely done. But yeah, also for everybody who had never paid again membership in the beginning, there are levels. As you can see, you guys will be diamond members. So you'll see the people who got in the beginning, the people who paid the full price and everything, your membership will be different from everybody else. Everybody else will have the ability to climb to that point, but you guys will start out at that point because of, it's just different levels to it, for people who paid more and people who got in early. So it would be one of the two. So all you guys who got in early, who helped, basically the site is there because of you guys helping to pay for it. You guys will have way different access, way different abilities on the site, and just more access to different things and higher level things than everybody else. You'll understand once the site is done. It's definitely, it's definitely going to be dope to have this and to be able to have access to certain things and get in first on certain things that's going to be available on the site. So yeah, it's going to be dope. You guys automatically get into my special group as well. So I'll talk about that later as well. But it's a lot. So everybody who got in early, everybody who paid the $500 to $250 or what have you for never paying a membership in the very beginning, which was years ago, you guys are going to see why the levels were that way when I had the memberships or what have you. It was what I was trying to do at that point that, we couldn't get to that point. And just because at the time, to code something like this, to do something like this, now we got plugins and stuff like that to help us out. And you got to pay for entire themes and stuff like that, yearly prices. And, it's not nothing crazy, but it's still a lot of work once you get all that to configure and edit these sites. And even paying somebody to do it, I mean, it's a lot of work. So like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, it wouldn't be possible. If it wasn't for everybody now who support it, it wouldn't be possible. So I appreciate the support. And yeah, the site is here because of you guys. But yeah, make sure you guys take advantage of this sale. It's low and we're going to be done soon. So make sure you guys take advantage. Flash drive does come with never pay again membership. Make sure you guys take advantage and grab it. Also, yeah, anybody, if you're having trouble with getting anything, paying for membership or flash drive or books, anything, if you ever have any issue or anything pops up, please screenshot it and send it to me at my Yahoo, not Google. I'm having issues with Google. Long story, we'll get into that. So it's in the description. My email me there, not at Google. Email me there, a screenshot, any problems, any issues you have trying to pay for anything on my site. Send me that screenshot because it's going to help us out later on with court cases. But yeah, let's get into this video. So now, been talking about reparations and everything like that, and it's a lot going on with it. Like I said, I keep you guys updated on this because it's a big deal, and at the same time keep you guys updated on what's going on with the site. Also, everybody, I sent out emails to everybody who have orders pending or who've been waiting for orders. I sent out emails to everybody. So as I said, if you didn't get the tracking number this week, last week, you'll get it this week. If you're getting those emails, it's because you're on the ready to ship list. That means your order is about to go out. That's why we're emailing you guys in groups like this, so you guys can know your order is about to ship and you'll be receiving an email. Some of you will just get the package and you won't get an email, a tracking number, unless you got a P.O. box. If you have a P.O. box, then you'll for sure get a tracking number, because I know how that goes. P.O. boxes are small. But some of you, it will just show up at your house or apartment or what have you before you get a tracking number probably. But the rest of you guys, you'll get it. If you didn't get a tracking number already, you will get it this coming week. And for the people who have been waiting for books since, the first orders or what have you, again, same thing. You guys will be receiving emails with tracking numbers or what have you. We getting them out as quickly as possible. Again, I appreciate the patience on that. But back to the video. Reparations. A lot going on with it. A lot of understanding now as to why they're harping on reparations. Now, to my shock, because I can't believe this shit, and we'll see what happens. I posted on my Instagram I posted a video, about Africa and them talking about uniting. This could really happen. There is, I've been reading so much and seeing so much going on. There is a big thing coming with Africa to unite. It's not going to be the entire continent probably at once. It's going to be a few countries that's going to unite. And I don't know if it's their way to try to, cripple the dollar or bring about, a way to say it's part of the reason why the dollar is crippled. I mean, you got to look at it. I mean, if you think about this, let's say Africa unites, and Africa uniting will make Africa the superpower. Plain and simple. And United Africa, who has a currency backed by its resources, will become a global superpower economically, which will give them the money and the resources to build whatever they need to build militarily to rival anybody, not to mention all of the countries that will come to their aid and will want to be involved with them economically in any way possible if this happens, which that's a big deal. Now, let's say that happens, one, and let's say probably before that, they give out, nationally, reparations to all black people, and 11, 15, 20 trillion dollar deficit. Here, black people, here goes 5 million each or whatever each. Here goes a bunch of money. Then Africa unites and creates this global currency backed by their resources, cripples the economy, which that money they just get to black people will also help and cripple the economy. It will be a big fucking deal, big problem. Who knows what'll happen? So just something to think about. But there's talk right now, which, like I said, to my shock, I don't believe it. And it's hard to believe, one, because these politicians in Africa are so crooked, they're easily bought off. And America has been buying them off for years. China has been buying them off for years. This is why there's been instability in the continent, and why none of these countries have been able to unite, because these leaders will sell out quick. I mean, you coming from a mud hut to politician or what have you, and you seeing so much poverty, and somebody comes and offer you M's, and then some of these African leaders are billionaires. I mean, think about that money. I mean, to be a billionaire in Africa is like the equivalent of being a trillionaire in America. I mean, it's just retarded money. Like, are you serious? A multi-billionaire in Africa? That's crazy. So it's so much out there to keep these guys in line and to keep them doing what the puppets usually do, and the orders they follow from their masters or what have you. Just money. And this is what happened. So there's a lot of talk going on with the situation now. A lot of people in the comments, a lot of people who's been looking at this whole thing, is saying, okay, well, maybe that's the reason why they want to give black people reparations, maybe for the whole thing I just mentioned with, the economy crashing or what have you. Or maybe it's because they understand Africa might unite and become this global superpower. And remember, many African countries have open borders to black people. Like Ghana, if you're black, you come there, they give you citizenship. visa, what have you. A lot of countries are doing that in Africa, that if you black and you want to come there, they will basically help finance your trip, and you can come there and live there, what have you. They'll give you citizenship, especially if you bring something to the country, or you bring in business or jobs or what have you. It's just so many incentives for black people if you want to come to Africa and do anything. So a lot of countries are doing that. So imagine if they do become this global superpower and they have all this money and the economy's just going to explode, as you can, I mean, y'all understand. It's countries in Africa that's so great and beautiful. Beaches and sand, I mean, just lovely place all year round, warm weather with beaches. All they need is economic stability outside of European control to where they can grow their economy, and it's going to be amazing. Who wouldn't want to be there? You understand? So something like this happens, and then you're letting people in free, and then now, Africa's a superpower. Black people are going to leave America. They're going to leave America. They're going to go over there. So many people have went over there that I know personally has moved to Africa, to these countries that have taken them in and have opened restaurants and businesses or what have you. There's danger in some places to that. I mean, it's problems. I mean, people poor. And as I said, when there's poverty, crime is inescapable. So, you move over there, there's something you got to worry about and you got to think about, especially if you're taking a family, what have you. So this is going on. Also, you have, people looking at this thing, as an American. And it's one of the arguments I have about this situation is just understanding that, I understand that if the dollar collapses, like, Africa does unite and it collapses the dollar, how that will affect Americans. A lot of people are looking at it like, I don't care, what happened with African. I'm not in Africa, I'm an American. So them collapsing the dollar is going to affect me here in this country. So why would I want that, even though I understand that these are my people, these are black people? Now, that's an argument. That's a valuable argument, but it's like, it's incomplete, because you got to understand like what that means for a united Africa with stability, with global power, and especially with them having open borders in some countries to allow you in. I mean, to have the #1 superpower in the world look like you is a big deal. And it's just going to change a lot. Now, as I talk about, one, clearly, if you're paying attention to politics, if you're paying attention to the direction this country has been going in for over 100 years, there has been a, huge push to collapse this dollar. It's what they want to do, because they want to bring about a global currency that they control. Now, once they do that and have a global currency, in their grasp, or that they control, none of this stuff matters. You've seen countries before talk about collapsing the dollar. You've seen this is what killed Gaddafi. Gaddafi was talking about it, having the dinar backed by gold or what have you. We see what happened with him. That talk won't matter no more. Once a global currency happens that they control, that's backed by gold, it's digital currency that's going to be backed by gold and silver, as I talked about, you don't have to worry about it no more. The powers that be, you don't have to worry about nobody collapsing that, because that would mean everybody is in on it and everybody has agreed to it and are going to benefit from it. They're just going to be in control of it in, what ways. Now, we have been warned about things like this for a long time. So many movies out there that's basically giving us hints into this, just understanding that once we give away this control, we'll never get it back. We have already given away so much control, and little by little, they're taking control. Little by little, they're distracting us with so many different things to where we're not reading what's happening to us. Next thing we know, all these laws and rules change, and, it's crazy. What's going to happen? I mean, you got to look at it. The policies will change completely in everything, every facet. It's not going to be much to benefit us when they control us. Not to mention, they can track everything that you buy. Everything. I mean, it's done. I mean, if you get rid of cash, if you get rid of a system where you can, pay cash, it's not much you can do. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, how are you going to sell drugs? What are you going to do? It will have to be people who are beneath the system or who want to do anything financially or beneficial to them beneath a digital currency system is going to have to use a bartering system, which people are doing right now. It's a whole show based upon that, where guys trade up from, a freaking cell phone to a boat. I mean, it's crazy the way it used to be. And it's probably one of the reasons why they got that out, to give people that hint. But that's what you're going to have to do, because you're not going to be able to go to, your neighborhood drug dealer and buy, a dime bag or what have you and pay cash. I mean, who's going to be accepting it? So it's going to be, other ways you're going to have to do that. And you can't do it digitally because it's going to be tracked, so we don't know how that monitoring system will be. Whereas now, I mean, you can open up a, PayPal and list something like you selling a watch or something, but it's really something else, and just make it like a person just bought a watch from you. How would that be monitored? So we don't know how that's going to work. Is everything going to have a digital signature, which the whole thing comes in place with blockchains I talked about, because then now every single product that you post or list is going to have that blockchain, so they can monitor it and follow it and tell that it's actually what it is. So many ramifications to, the issue. But for people who thinking it's going to be a bad thing if Africa unites and collapse the dollar's going to collapse anyway. There's nothing you can do about that. It's going to happen. I would rather it collapse and, black people are in power in some way, because if it collapse, I know a lot of people say that, if it collapse, you're not in Africa, what's going to happen? Well, even if it collapse here and outside of Africa, you're going to be in the same kind of trouble. Plain and simple. I promise you, the government is not going to break their neck to help y'all out, to help black folks out. So we'll see what happens. The thing is to get out in front of it and understand what's happening with this digital currency and how we need to get ahead of it and benefit from it. So that's the big thing. But clearly they're showing us that's the direction that they're going towards, is trying to collapse this dollar and bring about this digital currency, which other countries are already testing right now. Now, don't get me wrong. The dollar collapsing is not a bad thing. It's just what's going to happen outside of that, or what rules, or what they're going to put in place to help us from feeling the effects of the dollar collapsing. Now, it can collapse and they just say, oh, well, you'll have the digital amount that's in your account, you just can't get cash. That's fine. But if it collapses and they just say, well, your money is worthless, the money you got in your account is worthless, all that money in your safe, that cash is worthless, then that's a problem. That's when people are going to take to the streets, and you're seeing that happen now. We're going to get into that in an upcoming video. I talked about it before, though, what they're preparing for. You're seeing in California the looting and the rioting. It's in other places as well, but a lot in California. People hurting in California. I mean, they made it so expensive to live there. Like, what do you expect people to do? They're trying to make this a black-white thing, but everybody's looting. If it's going to be looting and the people was around, whoever's around was going to loot. That's how it's going to go. It just so happened to be predominantly black people in that instance, where they took about $100 grand out of this designer place. But they're preparing for it. This stuff is like practice runs. You're seeing that happen a lot, but they're preparing for it. They're trying to see how people are going to respond to certain things and how many people is going to act, so they can understand, what kind of protection they need to put in place. But they've been preparing for it for a long time. So it's just something we got to expect to happen eventually. But it's giving us a hint into how they're going to respond if the dollar does collapse. But, wouldn't that be the thing for them to, give black people $5 million each, or, whatever the number is going to be. And okay, yay, we gave black people reparations. They got money. They can shut up now. I want to hear about slavery and Jim Crow no more. We paid y'all money. Oops, the dollar just collapsed. Yeah, then that money's worthless. So how, we don't know how they're going to do anything. Like I tell y'all, if they do end up giving out that money, I would spend as much as possible that I can, depending on your situation, and buy gold. Buy gold, buy silver. It's just that simple. Then you ain't got to worry about it. But yeah, it's not like we're going to benefit from the dollar collapsing under America or any other country that may cause it to collapse. And I mean, just keeping it real, we know. I mean, I don't see Africa uniting and this happening, to keep it real. It's just, something to still think about. Or any other country bringing about the collapse of the dollar, besides China and Russia, who could actually do that. In any way it's going to happen, we're not going to get any special benefits from it. But it would be a much bigger help if it is Africa, or even if it doesn't collapse the dollar, if they could unite and bring about this, currency for Africa that's going to be backed by the resources. And yeah, it's something like that needs to happen. But we understand the issues it's going to cause either way. But it's just something to prepare for and understand more about, which we'll get into, and I'll get into more about reparations, because they already got one state or one city who passed it, or town or what have you. I talked about it in a previous video, and people got paid $25,000. It's other states will follow. That's just how it goes. And it's coming, it's happening. We don't know what that really means once it does happen. Is it going to happen on the state and local level, as I talked about? Whereas the state and local level, the states, they want to put this money out themselves and not have it on a national level to where they're ordered to pay out all this money. And it's way more than they pay out. Whereas it's like a court case where they can say, well, we gave all black people, $100,000, and they accepted it. They signed the paperwork. So if you pass a national, statute or law, we already gave out the money and everybody agreed on it. So we don't have to pay y'all $5 million. We gave y'all 100,000. You understand? So, some people want to wait on the national level, but other people is looking at it on the state level because they're going to take advantage, because they know black people out here hurt and they need the money. And most black people are going to say, what, 25,000, 50,000? I'm signing that right now. I need that money right now. Instead of saying, no, we're not taking that. We're going to wait until the government passes it nationally, which that's the thing. Are black people going to be able to wait for that? Is all black people going to come together and say, you know what, no, nobody take the money, because if we all take it, then it's going to be less than what we should get, because nobody wants to wait for the national law to pass to where we can get what we're supposed to get, which should be millions. And we're going to take this little teeny cut from our state and local officials. It's going to be far less than the national number. And it's like, a job, and you want to go on strike because you're getting treated unfair. And other people like, nope, I pay my bills, I got kids to feed, or what have you. So you don't go on strike, knowing that if everybody strikes, they're going to give you way more. They're going to meet your demands or what have you. It's the same type of situation. Most black people are going to take the money immediately. 25, 50,000, what have you. It's going to change a lot of people's lives. Whereas if you just wait and hold on, we ain't got it now, we held on this long, millions is much better. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Make sure you guys, please take advantage of the sale. It's going to be worth it. Get it out the way. It's going to be gone, and it won't come back again because of how the site is set up. You won't be able to get the Never Pay Again membership at that price. It's going to be crazy money because of what the site is going to bring. It's going to be beneficial. So, I appreciate the support. You guys helping us out, and we wouldn't be here without you guys helping us get the site to where it is. So appreciate it. Look for emails. Take advantage of the sale. See you guys next video.